It is severe weather season, and part of our mission here at the East Texas Storm Team is to keep you and your family safe when storms strike. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carson Vickroy, and thank you for joining us for this year's Severe Weather Special. Already this month, strong storm systems have made their way through East Texas, the wind, rain, and even tornadoes causing damage in their path. Roofs blown off of buildings, homes destroyed by falling trees, and after every round of bad weather, people are left without power. The key is always being prepared and aware. Throughout the next 30 minutes, we hope to provide some tips, useful information, and advice to stay safe this spring and get you prepared before, during, and after the storm.
This is a map of the United States showing the 2022 tornadoes, and you can see that just about all of those are east of the Rockies. Now, typically, Texas has more than any other state. However, in 2022, we had an exception to that. A lot of activity occurred along the Gulf Coast, and in Mississippi, they had more tornadoes than any other state. Texas came in second place. There were over 1,300 tornadoes that have been logged in 2022, and of those, about 160 have been occurring in Texas. Well, why does Texas have so many? Well, obviously it's a large state, but its geography plays more of a part than that. As air comes in from the west over the Rockies and begins to move out into the plains, that develops low pressure there east of the Rockies, and then we get upper level cold air that's moving across that general area coming in across Mexico, and we've got warm moist air coming in at the surface into Texas. As that warm moist air moves northward, it gets underneath that cold air, which allows it to rise quickly, and it begins to impart a spin on that with wind shear, which is differences in wind in adjacent levels through the atmosphere, differences in wind speed and in wind direction. That imparts a spin on that activity and helps to develop those severe thunderstorms that we see. In Texas, over the last 25 years, we've had more tornadoes in the spring, and that's typically the case. We have a secondary peak there that does occur in fall, and the month that has the most in Texas is by far May, with April and June coming in behind that. And then we have a secondary season there. October and November have a few more tornadoes. And the reason is that we've got a boundary of cold air coming down from the north, warm air meeting that, and anywhere you have that boundary, that's where you're likely to see severe storms.
Thank you, John. An EF1 tornado with 110-mile-per-hour winds is enough to pick up and destroy a single-wide mobile home. An EF2 tornado with 135-mile-per-hour winds will do the same to a double-wide home. I spoke to Charlie Woodrum of the National Weather Service office in Shreveport to discuss how people living in mobile and manufactured houses can be safe when severe weather approaches.
In 2022, nationwide, there were 23 tornado fatalities. 15 of those were in mobile homes. In addition, all 4 of the fatalities in our forecast area in 2022 were in mobile homes.
The data suggests that you are 15 to 20 times more likely to be killed in a mobile home as opposed to a site-built structure. Luckily, the National Weather Service has a 3-part plan to protect residents as threatening weather approaches. Step 1 of that plan happens in the days leading up to severe weather. Step 2 is communicating the day before the storm, especially with family and friends, to make sure it's still okay for you to take shelter at their place. If this isn't the case, think about other safe structures in town that you could head to.
Check with a local library to see what their hours are. See what commercial buildings are nearby that you could go to.
Before we move on to step 3, always remember to have reliable transportation. It will be important to get to your shelter, and don't forget to inform your neighbors about the incoming severe weather threat. It's time to take action in step 3 of your plan.
Now, and evacuate your mobile home. When a tornado watch comes out, you need to evacuate before storms hit and warnings are issued, because if you wait, it might not be enough time for you to evacuate safely.
Some people think that anchored mobile homes are much safer than non-anchored ones. Woodrum says that's simply not true.
The anchoring for mobile homes are anchored to standards that are based actually on hurricane horizontal force winds. So they are not rated for the vertical winds of a tornado. It's a different force that is being exerted on a mobile home.
Now, Charlie adds that it's important to have several ways to receive weather alerts when putting your plan into action. Meteorologist Andrew Samet has more on some of the ways you can receive these alerts and what to have before severe weather strikes. Andrew?
All right, thank you, Carson. So first you need to assemble your emergency kit, but before we get to that, let's talk about the NOAA weather radio first. I have one right here. Again, this is one of the most important things that you can possibly have when we have severe weather threatening. So again, it makes a very loud noise that is able to wake pretty much anyone up. We'll go ahead and demonstrate that noise for us right here with this NOAA weather radio. And as you can hear, it is a very loud sound that will certainly wake you up. So again, one of the benefits of this NOAA weather radio, if we take a look here, we can see that it will go off at any point during the daytime and the nighttime as well. So it's very good to potentially wake you up out there as we head throughout overnight events like we typically see here in East Texas. There are other ways of receiving weather alerts for us. So let's go ahead and take the graphics there so we can take a look at that on Weather 2 here. We do have the NOAA weather radio, which we just talked about. We have the East Texas Storm Team app, which you can download free to your phone. We'll get more information on that later on in this show here. Also, just not only a NOAA weather radio, but a radio in general. We have our radio partners over at KTBB that often do keep track with us as we track the storms. And then we have tornado sirens. Again, keep in mind that tornado sirens are just for outdoor use only and should not be used as the first line of defense against tornado warnings. But we do also recommend that you get a severe weather safety kit in store for you before any of the severe weather strikes. That could include things like flashlights, really important in case the power goes out. Of course, have plenty of water, snacks as well, batteries, a first aid kit in case anybody is injured, and also make sure you have your phone chargers as well, a car charger as well if you need to go into your car to charge your phone as well. So being prepared is probably the #1 best thing you can do when it comes to preparing for severe weather. Carson?
Thank you, Andrew. We've helped you prepare before the storm arrives, but once the weather hits, what should you do? After the break, we walk you through the process of a bad storm and how to protect yourself on alert days. We'll be right back.